hurt yourself over the weekend but didn't know how? Welcome everybody to Monday's Reptile News. Now before we get started, I just wanted to make a mention that the 18th of this month was actually Reptile News' birthday, third birthday. So happy third birthday, Reptile News, and let's get on to our title story of the day. Apparently a cat and a crocodile again went after each other at a zoo this time, I guess. I think the last one was an alligator, wasn't it? Anyway, this time a crocodile. I got a YouTube video posted on the website for you guys to watch. It's always just amazes me how these cats go after these large predatory reptiles and get away with it, you know. I mean, we always think of reptiles as being like I said, predatory, and we look at some of the invasive species problems we have here in America, like the Burmese pythons, or maybe like the brown tree snakes in Guam, which we're actually going to be talking about today. But we don't think about cats and how some of these, I mean, with the alligator and the cat before, the alligator bowed down, and this was a wild alligator, and now we've got a crocodile and a cat, and it's just, you know, it's amazing how cats can run off some of these apex predators. Speaking of predators, let's talk about those brown tree snakes now. Apparently dropping the mice from airplanes or helicopters in Guam must have done some good, because now they're doing it on a much larger scale, and apparently they're dropping these mice that actually have Tylenol tablets implanted inside them, and they say the Tylenol tablets are toxic to the snakes and kill the snakes. And this is something I'm kind of on the fence about on this story. I'm not 100% sure what other kind of reptiles Guam has and what other kind of snakes might eat some of these mice that are being dropped from these planes. It kind of worries me a little bit that some native species down there might be hurt, but again, like I said, I don't know what kind, if any, they have down there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really hope they fix their problem, because I mean, when you talk about the invasive pythons in Florida, you have no idea. The invasive tree snakes there in Guam, it just dwarfs our problem here in America, and I hope they're able to take care of their problem. But at the same time, I hope that they're not going to be damaging native species, not only of reptiles and amphibians, but of animals altogether, with this attempt of dropping Tylenol-laced mice into the treetops. They apparently are putting streamers on the mice that are supposed to get them caught up in the trees when they go over dense vegetation and drop them. And maybe that's kind of a plan to curb some of the collateral damage, I guess, if you will, when it comes to something like this, because apparently these brown tree snakes mainly hunt up in the treetops. And now let's move on to the snakeskin industry. Apparently the skin industry out of Southeast Asia is really hurting some of these wild populations. Now, we've talked about before how they use it in some of their medicines and stuff down there, and again, I'm not going to knock what other cultures believe, you know, it's their culture and I respect them for that, but it's actually surprising that 90% of the pythons, into the hundreds of thousands per year, that are killed in Southeast Asia, and they mention Indonesia and Malaysia specifically, are actually sent over to Europe to be turned into handbags, boots, and what have you. The funny part is it's believed that a lot of this is done illegally, and there's really no way to track it. There are no really record keeping as far as these European companies importing this stuff, and actually the European Commission banned importing python skins from Malaysia back in 2012 because apparently of the cruelty that took place during the slaughter of these snakes. So there you go, Reptile World, a little bit of information for your Monday, which brings us right into our question of the day. What do you think about this brown tree snake problem over in Guam? Do you think this might fix it? Do you have any other ideas? I mean, what do you feel about it just in general? Leave a text comment or a video response, and that's going to be all your news for this Monday. If you'd like to read any more about these stories, that link's right down below here in the description. And as always, if you're still watching, my name is Jason White. Now you know what's going on in the reptile world. Be good to each other, and we'll see you next time.